All the Mods 10 To The Sky released, it came with Draconic Evolution, and All the Mods 10 added it very shortly after. Now, if you've never played this mod before, basically it just adds a whole bunch of really crazy in-game stuff that you can do. There's a reactor, there's a battery, there's armor, there's tools, there's weapon. I mean, it's everything. In addition to that, it adds one of the craziest in-game fights that I've ever seen in my entire life that is incredibly difficult if you have no clue what you're doing. Over the last couple weeks, since I completed All the Mods 10 To The Sky, I've gotten a lot of questions about how to go through and progress through Draconic Evolution. And I feel like that's mostly because there's not a whole lot of information out there on it. So what I want to do in this video is basically just showcase exactly what I did to progress all the way through the Draconic Evolution mod to get everything you need for the All the Mods 10 To The Sky stock. These processes and setups are also going to apply to just base All the Mods 10, so you can use all of this information there as well. I really hope that you find this video informative and helpful. Let's get right into it. All right, now this stuff right here, this Draconium dust is the first material that you're going to be looking for. You're going to be using a sieve and crushed in stone through either a diamond mesh or a netherite mesh, and it will give you some of this Draconium dust. Now, if you have automation set up, you're probably going to have a ton of this already, so I don't want to spend too much time on it. By the time I actually got to Draconic Evolution, I had 72,000 Draconium dust, which is way more than you'll ever need. From there, we're going to be looking at setting up probably the most important setup for Draconic Evolution, which is the fusion crafting. In order to set up fusion crafting, you need a couple things. Really, all you're looking at is you want some of these Draconic fusion crafting injectors and one of these fusion crafting cores. These are not very complicated to make. All you're looking at for the core, some blocks of lapis, some diamond, and one of these Draconium cores, which is just some of those Draconium ingots, which is smelted Draconium dust, gold, and a diamond. So basic resources plus the Draconium ingots. In order to get the first tier fusion crafting injector, you're just looking at some stone, a block of iron, 2 diamonds, and some Draconium cores again. Now, the setup for this is a little bit different depending on what you want to do for it. What I would recommend doing is using 12 of these Draconium fusion crafting injectors, and the reason for that is so that you can upgrade this setup as you go along. Now, there's no right or wrong way to do this. What you do want to do is go 2 blocks away, and I tend to do 6 on each side. You can do it on 4 sides if you want. There's no rules on that. It just has to be within these 2 blocks away, and then you want them facing the Draconic fusion crafting core. So this is going to be our basic setup that we're going to be using for most everything here. I'll send you back to the video in just a second, but I wanted to take a chance to tell you about one of the best supporters of the channel, BerryByte. If you've watched very many of my videos, you've probably seen me talk about them before, and that's because they really believe in the content that I'm making and what I'm doing. So if you're looking for a place to host your Minecraft server, please go check them out. They offer really competitive pricing, server hosting all across the globe. They're opening up new data centers all the time. You can set up automated backups, and setting up a modded Minecraft server on there is literally just one click. You select the mod pack you want, and it sets the whole thing up for you. I've actually been using their servers for quite a while now to host several different Minecraft servers that I've been using, and my favorite part about it is how easy it is to actually upgrade your servers. You can go from having an 8 gig server, if that's what you initially thought, to a 10, 12, or 16 gig server if you find that you've got a lot more people playing on your server than you thought you initially would. Now, they already have incredibly competitive pricing, but to make that a little bit better, you can use the code JohnHall at checkout to save $5 or JohnHall20 to save 20%. Again, thank you so much, BerryByte, for being an awesome supporter of the channel. Let's get you back to the video. Now, as we go along, we are going to upgrade these Draconium fusion crafting injectors to the Wyvern fusion crafting injector, the Draconic, and then finally the Chaotic, which we will have to wait until after we fight the Chaos Dragon in order to get these. And that's because you need the Chaos Shards in order to make them. Now, it is worth noting that you are going to have to power these crafting fusion injectors. A couple different ways to do that, but as a start, what you can do is place down some of these universal cables and use something like a flux point and hook that up to your flux network, and then it will pull power from whatever power source you have, send that via the flux point into the crafting injectors. Also worth noting that these crafting injectors only take power once a craft has been started. What I mean by that is right now these cables have a ton of power in them, but it will not be pulled into the fusion crafting injector until a pattern has been placed onto the injectors and the core in order to kick this off. What better way to show you how to use them than to show you how to upgrade them? So in order to upgrade these, what we're looking at doing is taking a Wyvern core, a Draconium block, 2 Draconium cores, and 4 diamonds. It's important to note that this is going to take 8 items on the outside, which means you only need 8 injectors and not all 12. So what you can do is you can come through and you can break 4 of these and then use those 4 as your crafting ingredient. You can set 4 Draconium fusion crafting injectors in here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade this. So the first thing we want to do if we're manually crafting is we want to shift right click each one of these fusion crafting injectors so that it shifts from stack mode to single item mode. We want to make sure every single one of these injectors is in single item mode because that will make it a lot easier for us to put all of these items in. So then what we're doing, since we know we need 8, we're going to start with 2 diamonds there, 2 diamonds here, 2 Draconium cores, 1 Wyvern core, and a Draconium block. You'll see that this thing says it is ready to craft. It sees all the items and it is ready to pull in power. Now to start this craft, you just click craft here. It'll start charging these up. And then as soon as these have enough power, it will actually craft what it's trying to craft inside of here. Now, the reason this craft is slow is because it takes a while for power to get inside of these fusion crafting injectors. You'll see it took quite a bit of time for that to charge. There's also a little bit of time for it to actually craft the item, but the majority of the wait is the charging time. You'll see we've got it. So then what we can do is we don't even have to take that out. We can just continue to throw the rest of the items that we need in order to craft more right inside of here, click craft again, and it'll just continually stack these. Now you may be wondering, well, that's a very manual way to do this, John. And you're absolutely right. There is an automated way to do this through SFM, and that's what I want to show you next. All right, so we upgraded to all of the Wyvern Fusion Crafting Injector. What we're going to do from here is actually work on automating this. In order to do that, we're going to get rid of a couple things. We don't need the cables anymore. We don't need the flux point anymore. So we're going to get rid of both of those. And instead what we're going to do is we're going to add all of these blocks right down here. We're going to need a pattern provider, a barrel, a label gun, a factory manager program, a factory manager, some inventory cables from SFM, and a timer from RF Tools utility. That's what we need. We're going to take the timer and we're going to place it down next to the fusion crafting core. It needs to be facing the core so that it's sending the redstone signal that way. In the timer, we're going to set the delay on this to 2 ticks, and we're just going to let that run. All this does is it tells the fusion crafting core to craft, which means it will automatically craft if there is a valid recipe when it receives a redstone signal. Next up, we want to put inventory cables, touching every single one of the fusion injectors. And then I usually wouldn't do this, but for the sake of you being able to see it, we're going to run inventory cables around the back and also let it touch the fusion crafting core. In addition to that, we are going to need it to have a couple other things. I would recommend having a high tier energy cube that it can also plug into, and then you're going to need to plug in your pattern provider as well. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to plug in the pattern provider right back here, and then we're going to set down our factory manager. Inside of this factory manager, we're also going to add our program disk. We're going to click edit, and then I'm going to paste in the code that I have on our Discord underneath the resources that could help for them. Fortson wrote this code for us, and it's fantastic what it's able to do. So we'll paste this in here, and all this is doing is it is isolating slot 0 from the barrel. And slot 0 is always going to go to the core, whereas slots 1 through 26 is going to go one by one to each injector. From there, this is the cool part. It is constantly, every single tick, outputting a very large amount of FE to each injector on each side. Now, this code specifically is set to output power from the cube on the bottom side. This is not a big deal, and that's purely because you can click in here and shift click this, and it will fix it as soon as we hook everything up. So next up, what we want to do is shift click the manager, and it'll pull all of the labels into our label gun. In our label gun, we want to select the barrel. Right click it there. The core, right click here. The cube, which is our power source, right click it there. I totally forgot. You actually do have to hook up the pattern provider because that's how it's going to send all the items back into the ME system. So hook up the pattern provider there and then make sure that there are cables run to it. And then last but not least, you're going to need to label the injectors. The cool thing about this is if you shift right click, it will select all of the like items next to it. So it'll select all 6 of these at once and all 6 of these at once. So everything's labeled now. So right click on the label manager and it'll put everything into there. Everything should be labeled and we shouldn't have any errors here anymore. Now, the reason I showed you how to do this manually first is because this has limitations. Because each one of the tools
and Armor, specifically in all the mods packs, has NBT data inside of it. Which means if I were to create a pattern, say for instance, to create a wyvern pick, I would come into here, I would create this pattern. And the important thing to note here is that the pattern always needs to have the item that goes to the core on this first slot. We would select it. We'll throw this in here. And then from our ME system, we can actually request this wyvern pick and it'll throw everything in here and basically craft instantly, because the SFM cables are able to charge these crafting injectors instantly, which means the only time wasted is the actual craft time, not the charging time. And then the item will go back into the pattern provider and then go back into our system. So you can see we now have 2 here. The downside to this is that the ME system will never recognize it as a completed craft, because the item that is returned has NBT data. The item that it was requesting does not. So hopefully you're at least a little bit seeing the limitations of this. It's an absolute pain, but it only applies to the tools and armor in Draconic Evolution. Everything else that you would want to craft using the fusion crafting setup can be automated using this SFM program and using this setup right here.
All right, so that's how to build it. In a real world situation, this is more of what it looks like. You've got your SFM manager, you've got your ultimate energy cube, you've got all these chaotic fusion crafting injectors because I've upgraded them all the way, all hooked up just like this. And it's a lot more convenient if you place your pattern provider next to one of these SFM cables that's already going to be hooked up to your crafting injector. And then also run the cables underground. Set the fusion crafting core right on top of it. There's no need to do anything else. So just so you can see, we're running the exact same code here. And if I wanted to go in and request something from Draconic that would take a lot of fusion crafting, something like what you need for the Dragon Soul, right? The chaotic energy controller or the chaotic core. Both of these require some pretty intense fusion crafting in order to be able to do this. But because I have all of these patterns in here already, what I can do is just request one chaotic core. It knows everything it's going to need to already make it. I hit start, it throws everything in here. These charge instantly, it crafts instantly, and puts it right back into my storage system. Now again, you cannot do this for any tools or armor because the NBT data breaks it. It will not work, it'll never complete, or it won't craft in the first place because it'll say you don't have the items. For at least these items here, I found it incredibly helpful. All right, so the next question is, okay, fusion injecting crafting, great. What about the Chaos Guardian? That's a fantastic question. What I want to do is show you exactly what I did to prepare to go fight the Chaos Guardian. And then I'm going to include a highly edited clip of me actually fighting him so that you know what I did in order to not just go fight him, but also beat him without dying. So I've got the energy. I don't need more energy. I'm going to make a list of everything that I need to make for the bow and the chest plate here. For the bow, so I need 2 velocity, got 1 energy, 3 speed, 10 damage, 3 accuracy, 1 penetration, and 1 gravity. All right, for the chest plate, we said 8 large shield, 6 recovery, 2 energy modules we already have, 1 shield control, and 1 undying. Okay, got the full list of everything I need to create now. And honestly, grand scheme of things, it's not that bad. What I am going to do though is go ahead and create myself a potion brewer, and we're going to automate this just because you guys want me to. Pattern encoding for that, and then a pattern for a brewing stand. Throw both of those in here. Let's start with just the top, velocity. I think I'm trying to make Draconic of each of these. So if I make, there it is. Okay, is that a fully maxed out bow there? Do we like that other than potentially gems and stuff? That's it. Okay, and this cover didn't work for that. Autofire module because joking. Okay. So that should be the full bow I need. Now apothic, enchantment, and gems. All right. Let's take a slight break from doing potions and let's do the apothic stuff and enchantment. We can't do 2 combatants. We'll throw that back in there and we'll do Intersurge to get power 17, which is stupid, but you know, whatever. Take what you get. No flame. I could add flame. What real benefits that going to get me though? I don't think it's going to do that much extra damage. You know? Thoughts on flame? Do we care about flame? We'll add it just for the sake of adding it.
You can apply that power on a pneumatic craft pressure chamber. Put that on, put that on, put that on. We do that. Then I come in here and I put this in here. Power 10 flame soulbound, 3 endless quiver. I like that. Looks good. Agile. So we do want to increase draw speed. That's for sure. Do we care about crit damage or would we rather arrow damage? We probably rather arrow damage, right? Crit would be good. Okay, we'll go with crit chance and arrow velocity. We want to increase. Deathbound. I don't care about that one. Ivy Lace. Is this anything good? Okay, well, you can hold a sword in the May hand to apply his crit and damage to the arrows. That's what we want. So we want to increase arrow damage to this. Plus 40% arrow damage. So you guys are going to have to tell me what arrows to use with that. And then at the same time, I need to start making the stuff for the chest plate now. I am just going to jump out on a limb and assume it's going to require more potions, right? Not entirely sure about that, but I think it's going to. So we're looking at the large shields. We want 8 of them. You can just make those. Beautiful. I just used vanilla arrows. It was strong enough. That works for me. 8 large shields, 6 recovery, 1 shield control. And then these are just ones. Nice. There's that one. And I've got one more slot here, which should be for the shield control. But I'm going to go kill an Ender Dragon for that real quick. Let me go ahead and make 4 end crystals. Grab those. We'll take them with us. And then this is where we're going to test out our new bow, I think. Let me grab some arrows. Grab normal ones real quick. I feel like it doesn't fire as fast as I expected it to. Nope. Didn't mean to do that. I think I hit him maybe 2 or 3 times. Oh, we loop pinataed off that for sure, too. Did y'all see all that stuff fall? Swap 1 damage for speed. /1. So you're saying inside the bow, swap one of these damages with another speed module. Shield control. I need a particle generator. In here, pattern encoding. Particle shield control module. Grab it. I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure that is this one, right? The Draconic Gravity Compensation module. But it doesn't spawn until I land, right? Waystone a bit far from the center. Okay. Go bango. And then I'm going to throw this down. I'm going to try not to land, though. Chaos. Pure chaos. There it is. All right, all right, all right, all right. Give me some towers. There they are. There they are. So, remember, tell me if I'm correct. Hide behind the towers. Hold the bow in the offhand and the sword in the main hand. And then let him destroy the towers, right? Pick a tower and hide behind it, right? Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot about that. I forgot about that. Get me behind the tower. It won't let me get back out to the tower. Let me leave. I don't want to hold that in that hand. I don't know where the withers are, but we're going to shoot at them. What am I supposed to do with these guys? Oh, just shoot them once.
You need them to hit the crystals for them to be destroyable.
Right. Yep, we're working on that. Unfortunately, I can't do anything right now because I can't fly. I can't get out to the crystals. How am I supposed to get out? You can I understand that you can theoretically. Currently, I cannot. There's one more guardian with it. That's why. Got him. All right, let me fly again. Let me get out to here. No, man, I could fly for half a second. Let me get out to this guy. Just need to get out here. Okay. Stay behind this corner. Mind this. And then stay back. And hope and pray my armor recharges quickly.
Torrid Sun says,
yes.
wait until this phase ends and then you can go behind the pillars.
Okay, okay. Yeah, y'all keep using TTS because there's a solid chance that I'm gonna focus in here and not know what you're saying. Okay, we got that one. I'm trying to run to the one over here real quick so that I can be close to it. That one right there. Of course, to say the forge doesn't take energy, the laser does. Okay, got it. All right, let me appear real quick. Oh, he's not flying around yet. Take care of that. He's kind of just randomly throwing them a little bit. Okay. This is the tower, right? Okay, good. Stay right here. He's gonna hit it. Beautiful. Fly over to the only one left. I don't think he's still gonna be in that stage when I get there, but it's worth a shot. Just in case. That's a laser. That's a laser. Okay, just hope it calms down. Hope it calms down. Hope it calms down. Calm down. Calm down.
Daughter says,
calm down.
Just be a man. Stop hiding behind stuff. Haha.
Okay, so now you said this is going to be a breeze from here on out, right? I'm not feeling like this is a breeze yet. I don't know why I was lied to. Do I need to hit him enough, or I just need to run through this part? Seems like there's something in the middle that's charging him. I am so... Keep doing your thing. I'm just gonna run around until it's out of blue. Oh, it's out of blue. It's out of blue. Yeah, fire away! Charge! Gonna get black in the blue. It's back in the blue. That's a laser. That's a laser. That's a laser. That's a laser. Jeez, they gave me a heart attack. How long does that laser last? You good now, bro? Okay, all right. How would you stay calm, dude? Where did he go? Oh, there he goes. You going to the middle again to do a laser? Oh, he's going. Stop it, stop it, stop it. And back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up, back it up. We're good there. You could have tanked it to the face, you'd be all right. I don't think so. I'm glad he didn't panic. All right, you guys just on some sassy stuff today. Oh, I can hit him from anywhere. I just have to actually aim at him. Nope, no, 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 no. Oh, okay, so I can't run, so this guy better not be a laser. Oh, it's not. Okay, good. This is just the runaway one. Oh. I didn't panic at all. I don't know what y'all are talking about. Y'all being sassy is our job. That's fair. That's fair. Oh, we got him, boys. We got him. We got him, boys. Okay, so I need to dig below there, right? Okay, and these are what I want. This crystal here. Man, that's so hard to see. Does fortune apply to this? I have 5 chaos shards. Is that enough to make the bee? Always drops 5. Okay, perfect. That better be enough to make a chaos bee.
Says I can do it.
What we got? What was I missing there? What did I do something right or wrong? Because I hear what you guys are saying, but it seemed like I had enough. Oh, I don't have enough for the slab, the flower item. You're right. That was the problem. Got it. Okay, so cage. those cages already. And then, so quest items here. I just need to have Draconic Infused Obsidian. There it is. Quest completed. Oh, no, it gave it to me. Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. We're good, boys. We're all good. Everything's good. Dude. It's all good. We're fine. I really thought it was going to have to make me observe it.
Flash back and grab some.
I also was entirely convinced that it said 0% on the dragon quest. It was going to mean that I had none of that. All right, Chaos Cone blocks are coming in. I ain't gonna lie, that fight was not something I really was gonna do again.
That's not bad. So those are the 3 things we need, guys. We're gonna throw them all back in there. Dragon Soul. Got it. Philosopher's Fuel. Got it. So hopefully, what I think that means is if I take these 2 things over here to this guy, and I put them in,
Time to create a
Philosopher's
super
Fuel.
fast setup for DT fuel.
that means we get our star, right? Hey, look at us go. Well, that's it. That's everything I did to completely finish the Draconic Evolution mod in all the mods 10 to the sky. Now, I cut up the live stream as best as I could, and the reason I included it is because I really wanted you to be able to see everything that I was doing as I was going along, mostly just so that you know that there is some variability. You can change things out if you feel like there's a different combination of modules or gems or affixes that could be better. This video is long enough as it is. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and learned something. If you did, let me know down in the comment section below. If there's something that's blatantly obvious that I just completely missed, let me know that in the comment section down below too. If it's good enough, I'll pin your comment at the top. But don't forget, you're special. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.